We've made our way down to the Standen on day 4 of our Copenhagen weekend away. The reason for coming down here, got bus tours here. So this is the hop-on, hop-off bus tour behind us. What we're actually doing today is a boat tour. So we're going to go on a hop-on, hop-off boat tour all around Copenhagen. This will take us to all of the main sites that can be seen by the water. So we'll see a lot of architecture on this tour, a lot of monuments and that kind of thing. We've picked up our tickets for the boat tour now. We're actually having to walk to a different stop in order to get it. Currently it's high tide, so they're not allowed to leave from the station that we came to. As you can see, the water's extremely high on the bridge just behind me, and we'd effectively have to go under that in order to do the tour. So we're having to walk about 10 minutes in this direction to the Danish National Bank. So we're now on the canal boat tour. We've just had an announcement from the guide on the tour to say the tour is going to be slightly different today due to the high water levels. As I mentioned previously, we are in high tide, so we can't go through the majority of the canals. But what we've got here, they've effectively given us a set of headphones. We've got a few different channels that we can listen to. So they've gone through the language. There's about 7 or 8 different languages you can choose from. So whether that's your native language or, as he mentioned, one you'd like to learn along the way. But we've got a headset going on that's giving us information from each of the buildings that we passed. The idea of the boat is a covered boat, as you can see. What we've just heard in the headset, this building that you can see right in the middle of the pane, was previously one of the busiest trading houses in Copenhagen. I believe the date that we were given was 1777.
So now we're in the new Hound Canal, and normally we would go all the way to the end, but as you can probably see, looking at the bridge ahead of us, we will not go onto that. It's too low, water levels are too high. So we'll stop here on the left, and we will pick up a few more, and then we'll go on the long part of the tour.
So what the guide was telling us a second ago, the statue has actually lost its head on 2 occasions. Firstly, in the 60s, 64 I believe was the time given, and then again in 1998 or 99. The first time it lost its head, it wasn't recovered, so that's actually a new statue. It was a gift from the Carlsberg brewery, Carlsberg being one of the main alcoholic beverages here in Denmark. We're back off the boat tour now, having seen the outskirts of Copenhagen. It's not a bad tour at all. It was included in the Copenhagen pass, so we didn't pay anything more for that. Whether it was worth it or not 100% convinced. Maybe we missed a few things because of the high tide and not being able to go through all of the canals. That was a little bit frustrating. There was a stop very early on into the tour where traditionally you'd go down that canal, and it's a very famous site, and you'd see that, and in this instance we weren't able to do that, so we actually stayed on the boat towards the end and went and walked there ourselves anyway. It's not bad. As I said, it's included in the Copenhagen card. If you've got access to the Copenhagen card, do it anyway. It takes around about an hour, it's not going to take too much time out of your schedule. Way now into the reception rooms of the Christianborg Palace. And as you can see behind me, we're just making our way up the Queen's staircase. An overview of the area. I'm not really supposed to be filming in here, so just show you as much as I can. It's very elegant. We've actually been made to wear protective shoe coverings. So this was taken on New Year's Eve in 2007. As you can see, this is all the state fish. Our way through, we can see the Queen's Library. As you can see, the walkway around the top. There are actually doors in the corner to reach those levels, as there's a lift over in the corner to enable you to get up to the second level. And the library continues through this set of doors. We're now in the Great Hall of the Christianborg Palace, the reception room. As you can see, got the tapestries on all of the walls depicting the history of Christianborg Palace, as well as the paintings on the ceilings. We've now made our way through about 15 rooms in total and through to the main room, and this is the throne room. So this is where the King and Queen would be seated. And this is overlooking the main square out there. Can't get all the way to the window due to barrier in place. But this gives you an idea of the elegancy of the palace itself. And again, I can't get all the way to the thrones because of the barrier, but here's an up close view of them. Right, so we've just come out of the reception rooms of the Christianborg Palace. You can see them behind me. I hope you enjoyed the little overview that I could give you. Not really supposed to be filming in there, so it was quite difficult to get too much footage, but hopefully what you've seen you have enjoyed. It's something that I'd very much recommend going to. The only caveat to this is you can only go when the Queen isn't here. If the Queen comes, you don't have access to it, as happened to us a couple of days ago. We're heading out of this. We're going to take the metro line and we're going to go to the Copenhagen Aquarium. So we've made our way around about 6 stops on the metro, on line 2 I believe it was. So we're 1 stop away from the airport. So this might be a good thing to do on your way to the airport if you've got a few hours. This cool building behind me is Denmark National Aquarium. Pretty cool. It's quite cold here. This is the sea. It's just over this, just past this car park, and then just here, is the airport itself. We made our way inside the aquarium now. As you see behind me, we've got the large LED wall. So it's broken up into 3 sections. So section 1 there, 2 there, and 3 there. So we're going to do it in order, as it said. So this is the Northern Lakes and Seas. Section 2 is Tropical Lakes and Rivers. And section 3 is the ocean. So if I just take you through. As you can see, some of the down here we've got a few different things. You can see him creeping in the back there. So it gives you kind of an overview of what it's like. So this will be, as I said, this is section 1. We'll be heading into section 2 and 3 later on, and I'll give you a short overview of each of them as we go through. Come over here, you see the starfish. You're actually able to stroke the starfish. We're just coming around the corner. This is just after the hands-on area. And we've got a rather large tank here. Got fish here. There's some stingray just down here, as you can see. Moving along. As you can see here, this is one of the sea otters. There's 4 here. You can see in the back there's 2 more playing. We actually saw one inside a second ago. Because they're sea otters, they've got an ice bath here. I don't think I'd need that personally. It's pretty cold out here anyway. So as you can see, we're right by the sea and the airport there. Having finished section 1, we're just going into section 2, and that's the tropical lakes and seas. As you can see here, they've got more interactive sections. We can go outside into the rainforest. Very humid in here. So dive into the rivers of the rainforest. Alternatively, we can go around. They've got areas where you can sit and see everything. So we've just come from the rainforest, which is through there. Notice how everything has a number. We've essentially been following the numbers. Number 27 here is the snapping turtle, as you can see. So we're now in the tunnel going through. As you can see, we've got some visitors. Just over here, this guy here, it's a Hammerhead Shark. You've got the stingray, another Hammerhead Shark, or stingray on the back. So you can walk all the way through here. There's very wide open corridors. You've also got a glass floor over there which you can walk over if we go over that. As you can see, walking right over the top of the tank. Just coming out of the tunnel, we can see another view of the main tank itself. Cool feature here, actually provide you with blankets to sit down and so you got bean bags and blankets that you can sit on and just watch the world go by. So we've just found our way to the tropical touch pool. This is where you can touch stingrays, little sharks down here as well. So you've got to wait for them to come round to you. They're quite nervous. And they'll just come to you. Oh. Oh dear. One thing you need to be careful of is not putting your arm in too far that you get your entire sleeve wet. So this is quite a cool interactive thing for children. Get them interested in science and animals, and also teaches them how to safely handle fish. This is another interactive experience you can do. Basically, these are essentially cleaner fish. What they do is take off all the dead skin, which really bodes well for me in this instance, because there's probably about 40 or 50 of them on my hand at this particular moment. So we're just watching a feed-in take place here at the Denmark Aquarium. And what Anton here to my right is saying is when he throws the algae pills in for the fish, because they don't have knives, forks or plates, it's going to be a very explosive experience, as you can see. Because they're trying to get the pill as quick as possible. With the water, the air, everything, it sounds like a small bomb going off. So he's about to do it again. So we just finished in the Denmark National Aquarium, like you see behind me. Bit of an overview of it. Fantastic experience. Very interactive. Very good experience for children to go to. Anyone really. The interactivity of some of the exhibits, you're able to stroke the stingrays, put your hands in and feel the starfish and things like that. And it was just very, very much an interactive experience as opposed to just being talked at all the time like you would be in normal circumstances. It works out to be about £20, $25 or so, worth every penny. You know, it took us about 2 hours to go round. That was without reading every sign and every bit about all of the fish and all of the crustaceans and things like that. So I think you could easily spend a good 4 or 5 hours there. As I said, it's very interactive, so it's keeping children entertained and keeping them engaged, as opposed to just being talked at and running off and not paying attention. So definitely something I would recommend. So we've come into this restaurant called Pincho Nation. It's an app-based restaurant, and basically what you do is order everything via an application you download. So you order your drinks and you go and collect your drinks from here. You order your food and you collect your food from here. It's themed like a circus. And what will happen is once the drink's ready, you'll receive a push notification. Once the food is ready, you'll receive a push notification. At which point you go and collect it. As we came in, they gave us a container of popcorn as well. You can see each of the rooms are themed with a different theme. So it's all pretty much self-service. And you order everything on the application. So what you can see here is a basic overview of the interface. So firstly, you'd be selecting the restaurant that you'd like. You'd select the number in your party and the time that you'd like to go there. Once you're sat at your table, you'll be picking the food. And as you can see, here's a little picture of each of the items on the menu. You'd select the number that you'd like to add to your cart, like so. So they've got a pretty broad selection. It's more like tapas dishes, slightly smaller dishes. Around about £4 to £5 per dish. These are the desserts, again tapas sized. Once you've finished, you can have an overview of your order. You log in, select your payment method, and then you go and pay from there. Once you've paid and your food's prepared, you'll receive a push notification, and then you just go and collect your food as such. As you can see, we've ordered our food. based on the screen recording I just showed you. We've just received a notification to go and pick up our food now, so we're off to collect this. We've got a number of dishes here.
Yeah.
So these are our 2 boards here. These are all the dishes we've ordered. So they give you a list when you come. As you can see, this is everything we ordered in the app. And they give you 2 stands as well, so you can stand each of them up and set them down. So it's a pretty cool concept. So we've just come out of dinner in this restaurant we found. We just happened to be walking by, hadn't planned anything. So it's called Pincho Nation. And like I explained before, the whole concept of the restaurant is that you download an app on your phone. You use that to order everything. You order your drinks, you order your food. And the handy thing is it had a little picture of everything. Rough guide, I'd say probably 3 to 5 dishes per person would be completely fine, could be completely adequate. We ordered 5 dishes each, along with a dessert. It was a little bit too much. We found out the hard way. We came out, we're pretty stuffed now. But I think, you know, it was good. It was good food, well cooked, quirky little restaurant, and a great find. Wasn't expensive. I think the total bill before tip was £49. That was with an alcoholic cocktail as well. So if you go without that, that's an extra £8 on top of the bill there. So you can easily get 2 of you for under £40. So $50 basically. And it's very simple. You don't have to speak the language, because you can just order on the phone. Definitely recommend it. Wasn't expensive. Easy, relaxed vibe in there, because you haven't got waiters and waitresses hovering over you. And I'm somebody who does naturally tip the waitresses and waiters anyway, but in there you don't feel obligated to, and you don't have that awkward situation if you don't feel the food was up to standard, because you can just pay on your phone. You don't have to have that interaction with a waiter or waitress at all. So again, that would also play in quite well if you're quite an anxious person and you don't like having that interaction with people. Perfect restaurant for you. Overall, I'd say definitely somewhere that I think both of us would recommend. With that, I'm going to go, because we're walking through the park back to the hotel and the light has completely gone. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified when we post a new video.